So I'm going to show you what we did with Excel for Prac1 and EAE1022. So first I'm going to open Excel or Google Sheets, whatever you use. I'm going to open the North Johnson River dataset. So this is the dataset we looked at. So we have the station name, North Johnson River, where it is. We have the latitude and longitude. We have that it's the parameter being measured here, it's the watercourse discharge. We can see that it's in cubic meters per second. And now what I want to look at is the plot that of the time series, so date versus discharge. To do this, I'm just going to select my entire table and insert a plot. So there are different options here. I'm going to go with a scatter plot because what I'm looking at is something quite continuous, which is x is time and y is a value. So the right plot is the xy scatter. I'm going to have a scatter with some lines. I can actually remove the points. I'm going to just put the lines in. And so you can either just have the xy as points, you can have points with the line connected, which can tell you where the measurement points are, or just the line if those points become invisible. Might take a little while because this is a big data set, so I'm going to wait. So here's my plot. So it's very long. This is a big data set. It goes from 1966 to 2020. So of course I have a lot of points here. Everything takes a long time to action. So I've just stretched this plot a bit so we can see better. We can see that seasonal pattern we spoke about in class. But this is how I created this plot. I'm going to delete it now. While I'm in this table, the other thing we did is called the pivot table. So I need to stand somewhere in my table or select a table, whatever you prefer. If you stand in the table, the pivot table will select it. I'll just add a line here so that the pivot table knows clearly where my table is. Insert pivot table. That's the data it's selected, okay, my entire table. And I'm going to put it, I can either put it in my existing worksheet somewhere, but I'm going to put it in a new one. So it's over here. I want to summarize by month, and I'm going to put the month as rows, not columns. So I'm going to drag it to month, to rows. And in the values, I have the count, how many values of discharge I have per month, because it repeats every year. I would like the average. Here's my average. So for January, February, these are the discharge rates. I can plot that by selecting it all. I'm going to insert, this time, a column plot. 2D column, because I don't like 3D columns, but if you like 3D columns, you can do that. That's the mean discharge, average discharge per day, per month. So we can see that there's clear seasonality here, like we saw. If you prefer to have your chart in another format, you can format here. You can change the fill color. You can change other things as you know.